and welcome to our podcast, Learning Leading Now, where we talk all things education and Mobile County Public Schools. I'm your host, Renee Phillips, Director of Communication for Mobile County Public Schools, joined by our co-host,
Sally Erickson, and I'm the Community Engagement Specialist.
And our special guest today,
Terria Moore, and I'm the Health Science and STEM Supervisor for Career and Technical Education.
Welcome, Terry.
Thank you.
It's a big title.
Yeah.
Big job.
Yeah, a lot of roles.
So we talk about a lot of things on this podcast. We are parents. We are employees of Mobile County Public Schools, and we've had a good year so far this year. It's been a great year. My oldest son turns 16 next week. Wow. So I'm not handling that well.
I remember when you first came.
He was little bitty. Yeah. And so now he'll be driving. And so we've been practicing driving through the student parking lot.
Good luck.
I know. That's how I feel. So any advice? Sally's had children who've driven.
I think you should tell him parking lots can be the most dangerous place ever. I remember my mother mentioning that to me, and I hadn't thought about it, but they really are.
Yeah.
You don't think they are, but they are.
Yeah, especially a parking lot full of 16-year-olds.
Right.
Yes. Do you have any advice?
Just follow the rules.
Yeah.
Listen to mom.
The good thing is he is a rule follower, and he drives very cautiously. He obeys speed limits as of now while I'm in the car with him. So
That's awesome.
That's half the battle right there.
He's going to do fine.
yeah, I hope so. So that'll be next week for us. What else, Sally? We've been out visiting schools.
Oh, yes. Today I got into the holiday spirit at two different schools, which is really fun. First, LaFleur, because they were having a huge Thanksgiving feast for their lunch, and it was just gorgeous. And they had all the cafeteria ladies just out in full force, and it was really fun. And then after that, I popped by Just For, and they were all decorated already for Christmas. Every room, every hallway, every inch of every door. So yeah, it was just gorgeous. I was really impressed.
So my family won't let us do anything Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Yes, my family is the same.
Normally, yeah.
Yeah. But I've been sneaking around listening to Christmas music.
We all do.
Yeah. It brightens your spirit.
It does.
And Sally, another exciting thing that we have going on right now, we've received a grant along with United Way for the Imagination Library of Dolly Parton. So tell us about that, because parents can get free books for their children.
Right. We want to make sure that all parents know about this, but especially in the preschool area, because the younger you sign your child up for the free books, the more books you get. So that's just a really exciting partnership with United Way, and there's just nothing more fun than a child learning how to read. I took a lot of photos today of children at Just For reading together, and it was just adorable. I'm a huge reading geek myself. I was never a math person, so I can't say enough about the wonders of literacy and the importance of starting early, which is what's so great about this Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
That's awesome.
It's a neat partnership. We think about Dolly Parton and her music, but she has so much influence now, and she's been doing this for several years. Literacy is important to her. And so I think, is it that parents can get 2 free books a month, or it's something pretty good like that?
It's a lot. I can't remember the exact total, but the earlier they sign up, the better. And there's a portal on the United website where you can sign up. So we're trying to get that word out with flyers to all the preschool areas. So.
Right, and we'll put it on Mobile County Public Schools website as well, and on our social media. Yeah, so if you're a parent of a pre-K student, right? A young child, then we'll put some of that information on the Mobile County Public Schools Facebook page so that you can sign your child up to get some free books, because nothing beats reading at home, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
I used to read at home.
I love to read.
Now I'm a taxi service just for a few more days.
There you go.
But yeah, did you love reading?
I love to read. I've always that's I think it's one of my biggest hobbies. It's just reading. It's relaxing.
Yeah. And you have a son, so I bet you read to him a good bit.
Absolutely. And in fact, he majored in English. Product of Mobile County Public Schools, graduated from MGM 2008, went to University of South Alabama in education, graduated. He taught the last 2 years before they moved the middle school to Williamson. So it was Mayings. He taught at Mayings for 2 years, and then he just wanted to do something different. So he's currently in the military. He's been
That's
in
different.
That's totally different, and he loves it. He's been stationed in Korea. He's been in Texas. He's been in Oklahoma, and now he's in Miami.
Wow.
Miami. From Korea to Miami.
From Korea to Miami.
Now, did you get to visit Korea?
No, but I've been to Miami a couple of times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a lot closer than Korea. So I'm an Army brat, and then my brother was in the Army, and he was stationed in Korea, and my niece was born there. They
See, it's
love
beautiful.
Korea. They love the
Yeah.
food. They love the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, he enjoyed his time there, but he was kind of ready to get closer to home. So he's my only child, my husband and I, and so he's enjoying life, But Mobile County Public Schools set the stage for him.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you're happy to have him closer. So Miami's
Absolutely.
not close, but it's closer.
Pensacola, one-way flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it
Nice.
down.
I got it down.
And so you do some big work. We're talking about we love to read. We all love to read. And Sally and I are communication people. Science was never my thing, but science is your thing.
Yeah, so I have 2 clusters in career and technical education. I'm responsible for the health science and also STEM middle school gateway programs, and then the high school biomedical science and the engineering program. So for the high school, we're at Theodore and MGM and Citronelle. And then for the middle schools, we're at Causey, Denton, Clark, and Burns. Busy.
Yeah.
And, they're doing a lot of good work. Project Lead the Way has an awesome curriculum, a lot of competitions. We're getting ready for our local competition for TSA, which is associated with the STEM curriculum for Project Lead the Way. So I think the teachers, they enjoy what they do. They have a passion for it, and that's why they're in that area.
Both of my boys have gotten to do some of that project Lead the Way. It's neat.
It's very neat. Everything is laid out. The curriculum is module by module. We purchase the curriculum, the supplies, and everything for them annually, and they really enjoy it, as well as the teachers.
I think science would have been more fun for me and Sally if it was like it is now.
I think so. I did go to a Project Lead the Way class at Burns.
Yes.
And it was about aviation and the
Yes.
history of aviation. And it was just fascinating.
We've grown the programs in Project Lead the Way middle and high school, and we are still looking to grow. We are in the process of bringing Chastain back on, as well as Barton. We've had a couple of courses offered at Barton. And so Career Tech we're open and available to anybody that's looking to get a jump start on their short and long-term future goals.
I think what's fun about it too, it's hands-on.
Very much hands-on, and the kids love it. So we have to stay aligned with business and industry, making sure that we have the latest and the greatest. And, Dr. White makes sure that all of our programs are ready with what we need.
Well, we have a couple of community outreach classes called Learning Leading University. And
We've had
Mobile
2 in the
County.
last
Yes,
week, so
sorry.
Sally's a little worn out.
My tongue's twisting. But I think my favorite session that we've had is the Career Tech session, because you can see the attendees being amazed at all the different career tech classes that we have and all the different careers available. And one of the things that struck me, the last one, was the representative from the chamber talking about how kids know careers when they see them. They don't just grow up saying, I think I want to become a nurse. But if they go to a hospital and watch a nurse in action, they have a much better idea of what they want to do and how to get there.
Absolutely. And so a huge part of our programs includes internships and job shadowing. And so we have health science programs that feed into every high school. And if there's not a program at a high school, they can simply go to the Career Tech Center. So we're currently at Baker, Blount, Bryant Center, Bryant Career Technical Center, Citronelle, Faulkner, LaFleur, BC Rain, Theodore, and Williamson. And so the students at Viger, Davidson, and Murphy feed into the Career Tech Centers, which would be Bryant Center and Faulkner.
So every high schooler in Mobile County Public Schools has access to health classes,
Absolutely.
either through their school or through their Career Tech Center.
Absolutely. So, you know, a lot of times we hear, you know, people will say, oh, they got the nursing program in the Mobile County Public Schools. No, there's something for everybody. So if we have a student that wants to look into physical therapy or radiology or surgery or anesthesiology or nursing, there's something for everybody. The curriculum is full of learning activities and experiences for the students to be able to go out in business and industry and get that hands-on experience that they need.
What are some of the healthcare careers that are most in demand in our area that you were talking with your students about?
So nursing, of course, is one. My undergraduate degree is in nursing. My master's is in health education promotion and physical education. And so in addition to my background in nursing, it's been so easy because I do also work still part-time in healthcare. So I'm back at home. So when I'm out there, you know, in public or at a healthcare facility, these are people that I know, and so the doors are just open for our students with a variety of opportunities and possibilities, and we're very glad about that.
So you know what you're talking about. You're up to date. You're current. You're doing that also in the field.
Absolutely. Every health science teacher in Mobile County is a registered nurse, either 4-year or advanced degree with the master's. We have 2 nurses that are also nurse practitioners. And so, you know, we're giving them the latest and the greatest. And so when we're working with the University of South Alabama or the University of Mobile or just anybody, we're at the table having that conversation because we know what's next for those students if they decide to go into healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the obstacles that you see with your average student who might be interested in a healthcare career but just isn't really sure what steps to take, what sort of game plan to have?
You just said it. Some of them are just not sure. So we try to get them rotations through a variety of areas. And so our newest program, and I'm so proud of it, is at Clark Shaw Magnet School. And so it's currently being offered to 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students. And so with those students, we've been able to put them out into job shadowing opportunities. And so the goal for them is because, and I talk with my hands, I'm sorry, the goal for them is to get them exposure in areas that are non-clinical right now. So they're getting that up close perspective from healthcare professionals, from OBGYNs, from pediatricians. Last week they were in surgery, the emergency room, and so, and not just Clark, but the other schools as well. But they just can't decide what area they really want to focus on. Once they get out there and they get into it, they can't decide. That's been the biggest obstacle.
Because we talk about all the many different careers in health, but then even with nursing, with being a doctor, there's so many different jobs within that. And I'm always impressed. Y'all are doing a great job at teaching kids the difference, because I know when Sally and I do our homeroom show, they don't even say, I want to be a doctor. We had a guest the other day, I want to be an oncologist.
Yes.
You know, they know specifically, like working, like you said, pediatrician, that takes a special ability working with children that, you know, somebody working in gastroenterology is another special ability, right?
Absolutely,
So,
because they're getting that up close, hands-on experience in those specialty areas that when I was in nursing school, you know, all of that wasn't available. And so, you know, now, you know, with the program, we've grown and opportunities and possibilities are just rampant, and the kids are getting out there and they're loving it. They're loving it.
mm-hmm. And then a lot of our kids, I think particularly about going to Blount, because Blount's had this program for a very long time, and they are earning their CNPs while they're in high school. So tell us about that.
Okay, so a huge part of the program is program credentialing. And so we are aligned with the Alabama Department of Public Health to be able to do the training and the testing right here in the classes where they learn in Mobile County Public Schools. And then we're also aligned with Prometric, where all of our health science teachers, including myself, we are able to proctor and evaluate the exams. So the teachers can't proctor at their own school, but we can proctor at other schools. And so, of course, Prometric is always on site, and we prepare the students with them going out, getting that required long-term care training, because they have to accrue 16 hours in a nursing home first. And then we allow them to go into their goal specific into the hospital. So they know that, okay, I'm going to do these 16 hours at the nursing home in preparation for getting my CNA. And then after that, now I'm working towards my goal specific, where I do want to do something in the emergency room, or I do want to be a plastic surgeon. And so we align them with those career professionals to get that up close experience as well.
So it's CNA, what is that, certified nurse?
Certified nursing assistant. And then we also offer the certified patient care tech. So we have 2 high schools that offer that, and that's Baker and Alma Bryant. And so those students also, on the therapeutic side, we place them in local clinics, hospitals, so that they can get that hands-on experience as well prior to them taking the national certification exam, as well as our dental assisting program at Theodore. They're out working with local dentists and their staff, and they're getting experience as well.
So dental assisting is only at Theodore?
Only at Theodore. Only one in the state.
Wow, that's fantastic.
That is cool. So I bet that the healthcare people around town love this program.
They love it. Yesterday we had our inaugural Host of Leadership Day at the Bryant Career Technical Center. Mr. Meredith, the principal there, opened his doors and welcomed all 12 high schools there. We had over 100 students. We had business and industry partners there. And, the goal was just about networking, team working, developing and enhancing leadership and soft skills. It was a perfect day, a perfect learning day.
What do you do to encourage your students who may not be A students? Maybe they're not the most academically talented, but you could see, being a nurse yourself, that they've got possibilities. How do you keep them from getting discouraged about grades? How do you encourage them that this is an attainable goal?
Awesome question. And for most of the students that get into our programs, this is what they want to do. So, they work hard, and we let them know that you're coming in on the entry level, but there are so many doors that you can open and go through, and you can go as far educationally as you want to. So not all healthcare workers are clinical. I transitioned in on the education side, and so the goal is to expose them to every aspect of healthcare, clinical and non-clinical.
We've seen that with some of the students who earn their CNA and then they go to college, eventually become a nurse practitioner. So
Absolutely.
These are careers that can build on themselves, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the doors are just opened in healthcare. Like I said, we've grown over the years. We are still looking to expand, adding more dual enrollment for the students, and more credentials.
Can you talk a little bit more about dual enrollment? Because I think maybe a lot of our listeners aren't as familiar with those programs.
So one of the colleges that we're working with, particularly for health science, is Bishop State. And so a lot of the HIT, or the Health Information Technology courses, are already offered as part of the health science curriculum. So we have students at Blount and a couple of our other high schools that are working on that. So in addition to them learning about nursing and the hands-on skills, they're also learning about health information technology and billing and coding. And so for those students who want to go into something a little bit different and want to do maybe not a 4-year, but something in 2-year, there's something for them in medical coding, transcriptionist, health information technology. There's something for everyone.
So you don't have to be around blood and
Absolutely.
Well, and they're well-
have to just
you don't
be
have to
around
do with
blood.
needles. You don't have to do all that.
No.
They're well-paying jobs, too.
Very good paying jobs. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is really cool. And Bishop, that's such a great partnership that we have with them and some of our others. I was just at Florence Howard a little while ago and just driving through Bishop. They've got some good things going on.
So they've opened their SIM lab, and especially, during COVID, we didn't get a chance to go out into the nursing homes, much, because of COVID. And so Bishop opened their brand new sim lab, and they allowed our students to be able to come in and learn. And so we went through a special process with the Alabama Department of Public Health and got them to just kind of revamp our curriculum a little bit and allow us to be able to do the simulation in the labs versus the nursing home. And so we didn't stop credentialing during COVID. We continued to credential and making sure that our kids were ready to be able to go to the next level of their education.
Especially during a pandemic, we realize how important our health professionals are.
Especially, and their labs are beautiful. Our classrooms and labs are beautiful. If you haven't been out to visit, I know you've been to Blount, I know you've been to BC Rain, but if you get a chance, just check out Citronelle, Clark's new lab, Baker, Alma Bryant, LaFleur, Theodore. Check them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get out to a lot of them.
We do.
Yeah.
We do our best.
But the Clark is new.
Yes.
That's
New.
neat to
It's
go down to
new.
that middle school level. How exciting is
Absolutely.
that?
It's very exciting because in the 6th grade, those students are looking into discovering, careers. The 7th grade course is all about medical detectives. So they're getting in there and they're investigating. And then in the 8th grade course, it's about orientation into the healthcare. So they're getting to, have guest speakers coming in and they're going out into the sim labs at Bishop and University of South Alabama. And then in the 9th grade, we've already got them out and about. And so we're in the process of working with Mr. Gatewood to do a big mock disaster there, sometimes second semester. And so they're excited about that. And so they're our newest program, but you can't tell. You can't tell.
So I'm imagining a mock disaster.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll have to make
exciting.
sure we alert everybody. This is make believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally make believe.
Yeah.
Totally make believe. And so, we're working with Mr. Gatewood. Nothing has been finalized or anything like that. You all will be totally involved. I know.
You might need some communicators there
Absolutely.
to help. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so they're excited about that. Very small, just a small drill, something that they would do during the course of a day. But they're excited.
Well, that's good. It'll get their adrenaline going a little bit, and they'll see how they work under pressure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Last week they went to the Strata building, University Hospital Strata building. And so, we had students in the ER. These are 9th graders, that everything that they're doing, they're shadowing, but it's ambulatory care. So non-clinical, because we don't want to expose them too fast, but we do want them to, investigate what careers interest them.
Can we talk a little bit about biomedical sciences too?
Absolutely. So the biomedical sciences is only offered at MGM. It is taught by professional science teachers. And along that pathway, they're investigating how disease, where it comes from, the origin, how to treat it, coming up with different vaccines and different things like that.
So it's almost like another
Research.
detective type
Yes,
of class where
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And they're working hard.
I bet there are a lot of students that find that fascinating
They
as well.
do. They do. I was talking to one of the teachers there on yesterday, and she said, I've got 75 students in my class this year.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
MGM's gotten big.
It's grown.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't realize how, if you go into the health profession, some of it is being a detective.
Absolutely.
Like someone comes in with these symptoms, and like we'll go to the doctor thinking, "Oh, I'll have an answer," and
Yeah.
and it takes a while because the human body's just fascinating.
It's very fascinating, and I don't think that the kids, when they first come in, it's like they don't understand right off the bat that there is a 3-course sequence that you've got to go through, and that you've got to get the basics before you can get into the lab and before you can go out into, a real healthcare industry. But they're excited and they're eager and they're ready. And so our goal is to help them to get ready.
Well, and I think also that they can earn college credit while still in high school is just fantastic. I wish more parents were able to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a cost saver right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if someone's interested or might be interested in healthcare, how can they find out more? Talk to their teachers, their school? Or
Absolutely. So, you have guidance and counseling. Of course, every school has a career coach. They can see the career coach. They can speak to the health science teacher. They can come to the showcase, with Ms. Minto and I'll be speaking to you more about that. But just at the school, see the guidance counselor.
But the important thing, every high schooler and some middle schoolers now have access to it if they're interested in.
Absolutely.
And just ask and find out and get involved.
Ask and find out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to plug in too for Sally's program. She does a great job with our Learning Leading You.
Now that I could remember the name of it, yes.
So remind us, because that's where you love coming out. That's a great
Absolutely.
experience where we talk to the community members about, and they're always surprised and amazed, I think, with the work, especially when you show some of your slides with the number of students with the credentials who are
Absolutely.
graduating and going into healthcare. And so, Sally, tell us a little bit about Learning Leading You in case any of our listeners want to do it for next year. We're full for this year, but
It's usually 6 to 7 sessions, and we start in October. We take December off, and then we have a session each month about a different aspect of the school district. And February is Career Tech Education Month, so that's when we do the Career Tech session. And it is usually at BC Rain in their aviation pavilion so that everybody can see the students work with airline parts and all the great stuff going on there. And the career tech part is always just very, very fast because it's so many different speakers with so many different aspects of career tech, and people just love that. But we will usually open up the portal for applicants for the next class in August, and we try to publicize that pretty thoroughly. So I hope a lot of people will sign up for next time around and learn a lot about the school system and especially the career tech programs, because I don't think we are able to get enough news out there to parents about how wonderful they are and how they prepare our students for careers.
Yeah.
they're fantastic.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned Andy Gatewood earlier. He just did one of our sessions. We've talked about safety and security, about guidance,
Another very important
counseling.
subject, yes.
Yes, about academics, about how the budget is drawn up, human resources. We go into all that. And we love getting to know people in the community who come out.
We've really gotten a lot of good advocates, I think, out of the first 2 classes because these are people who will come away from the class knowing that we have rules that we have to follow for certain processes. And so it's not that easy just to hire a person or to accept a certain bid for a certain project. And so they, I think, come away very impressed with how many very hardworking people we have in the school system and all of their focus on doing everything properly.
Yes.
I like the fact that your group is made up of parents and professionals, retirees. It's diverse.
It is. It's people from all walks of life, and they all want to learn something about the school system.
Absolutely.
Because it affects all of us.
Yes.
Yes. And we all are going to need these nurses. We're all going to need them in the nursing home one day, too.
Yes,
I
we
know.
will.
That's
Yes,
why I
we
tell my
will.
kids, take care of me one day and put me in a good
Absolutely.
nursing home.
Well,
Right?
just going for a routine doctor visit, just having someone draw blood. Every
Yeah,
time that happens, I
yes.
look at her and I think, I'm so glad you like doing this because I would never be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
it's
they
great
are-
that there are students who want to learn this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for what you
Thank
do,
you. Thank
preparing
you.
an entire future workforce of health professionals.
Thank you.
We
Thank you for
appreciate
having
you.
me.
That's all the time that we have on this episode of Learning Leading Now. We will catch you next time.